What's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, there apparently is some rival executives in the NBA that believes that the relationship between the Chicago Bulls and Zach LaVine will not last a very long time. Now again, I believe this is the article I'm reacting to is essentially from Sports Illustrated, and look, we're just going to give our opinion on the situation. Of course, that's all we really can do in terms of this situation. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about Zach LaVine, talk about the future of Zach LaVine in this video. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bull Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about whether or not you believe Zach LaVine's future with the Chicago Bulls is, I guess, numbered in many ways. Is there a future with Zach LaVine, I guess, with the Chicago Bulls? And I know you might be thinking, well, of course he's going to be back next year. I think, let's be honest, Zach LaVine, 98% chance I believe will be back next season for the Chicago Bulls. But beyond next season, beyond 2 seasons, he's here for 4 more years, I believe. I think he signed a 5-year contract with the Chicago Bulls. So it goes more than just a year or two. Will he have that longevity in a 3, 4, 5-year, I guess, career seasons with the Chicago Bulls to take him out of his prime or take him into his prime in many ways as well? Nevertheless, this is an article suggesting that Zach LaVine has become increasingly frustrated about being put into trade rumors all the time, and essentially that rivals do believe that that relationship between the Bulls and Zach LaVine will not last, and there will be at one point throughout the course of his contract that Zach LaVine will eventually get traded away from Chicago. So again, that's this story here. That's an interesting story. That's the compelling argument that we have to bring. So let's get started. What do I see Zach LaVine's future being? His immediate future is going to be in Chicago. I don't see a situation where Zach LaVine gets traded this offseason, and if we're trying to compete in 2 seasons' time, which I do feel like that's the plan for the Bulls, I don't feel like Zach LaVine will get, I guess, a trade away from Chicago in 2 years' time either. So at least for the next 2 seasons, I would say Zach LaVine remains right here in Chicago. But again, the long-term future is something that no one can predict. We cannot predict what the Chicago Bulls are going to do in 3 or 4 years' time. We don't know if they're going to go for a complete rebuild. We don't know if there's a equally valuable trade that we can get for Zach LaVine to bring somebody in. We don't know who's going to be partnered with Zach LaVine if he stays here. We don't really know what our whole team's going to look like. Our whole team in 3 years' time can look completely different to how it looks now. A lot of people are asking for a roster shakeup, but even in a roster shakeup, you're probably going to see some familiar faces in the Chicago Bulls team next season. Guys like Kobe White, guys like Zach LaVine, you know, guys like Adele and Terry. These guys are still going to be here next season, most likely. So you're going to see those familiar faces. But in 3 years' time, there could be no one on the Chicago Bulls team that was here now in 3 years' time. You got to be realistic about that situation. So I think it's just natural to feel that way. So if Zach LaVine's growing increasingly frustrated that he's being put in all these trade conversations, I honestly don't think that's going to change. And I do think eventually, in 3 to 4 years' time, those trade rumors will become more and more and more. And therefore, there could be one of those trade rumors that we'll consider to be true eventually. And maybe Zach LaVine does get a trade away from Chicago. But in the immediate future, I highly doubt the Chicago Bulls will get rid of Zach LaVine. So, look, if Zach LaVine's increasingly frustrated, maybe it's time he has a conversation with the front office and discuss what his future is going to be with this team. Again, I understand that anything can change in a blink of an eye. If there's an offer too good to refuse, Zach LaVine, I don't think is untouchable on this team. But it has to be something really good for the Chicago Bulls to give away Zach LaVine. I saw the Miami Heat trade. Again, it's in a video reacting to the big blockbuster trades that the Chicago Bulls could do. And it was Zach LaVine going to Miami for Tyler Hero, Duncan Robertson, Nikola Jovic, and 2 first-round picks. You know, I think we could do better than that to get if Zach LaVine is going to be a trade asset to this team. I really think we could do better than that. So it depends on what comes around, I would say. But all in all, I don't think we are going to get rid of Zach LaVine anytime soon. I think the end of Zach LaVine's season in the previous season, or I guess the still ongoing season that's taken place, I think there's more than enough hope for the Bulls organization to keep around Zach LaVine for another season. So if Zach LaVine's frustrated, all I can really say is I don't think he has much to be frustrated about. Enjoy your vacation, enjoy your training, enjoy your off-season, enjoy, I guess, actually having a proper off-season, because obviously I know 2 seasons ago he didn't really have one, and come back ready to play for the Chicago Bulls, because that's what I think is going to end up happening. And is it the right decision? Personally, I think it is the right decision to keep Zach LaVine. Again, unless the move is so good that we can't pass it up, I think it's a good idea to keep Zach LaVine for a variety of reasons. One, obviously, he averaged 24 points per game this season, right? And his post-All-Star numbers were around 27 points per game. If he can have a 27 point per game season next season for the Chicago Bulls, well, if we are looking to trade him in the future, his trade value is going to go increasingly up. He's going to be a much, I guess, higher of an asset for the Chicago Bulls than he is this season. B, if he has a healthy season for the Chicago Bulls, that will only increase his trade value as well. But C, if Zach LaVine has a great season next season, I think he can turn a lot of Bulls fans' opinions on him around in the belief he can be that max contract player, and that we can build around Zach LaVine in the short term to create a contending team. Zach LaVine has a lot of, I guess, pressure on his shoulders to deliver those things, but I would not say it's impossible to do. So that's the pressure that Zach LaVine has on his hands, and that's why I think the Bulls are going to be very patient and not just deal Zach LaVine very quickly. I think they'll take their time with Zach LaVine. And they have time to take with Zach LaVine as well. I think, he's 28 years old, 27 years old, something along those lines. He's entering his prime years, and he's getting better every single season, I believe. So I expect to see the same thing next season with Zach LaVine. They don't have time on guys like DeMar DeRozan. You know, he's on an expiring contract now, and the trade value for DeMar, if you keep on waiting, you won't get much in return for DeMar. Vucevic is already an unrestricted free agent. We don't have time on Vucevic. It's either you extend him or you get rid of him. That's the only thing we can do on Nikola Vucevic. But with Zach LaVine, he's on a long-term contract. His future is destined in Chicago at the moment, and I think they'll be very patient before just letting him go away. It would have to be a really, really good deal for the Bulls. It could be a really good deal to rebuild. It could be a really good deal in terms of bringing a superstar into this team that maybe we can see as a better chance to compete. I don't know what it's going to be, but we've got to be realistic. Zach LaVine, I don't think, is going anywhere next season, and I guess for the short term, which is where I'm primarily focused on, because I can't think 3 or 4 years down the line, man. I mean, I'll be making videos every single day about the Chicago Bulls in 3 or 4 years' time. Do you really think I'm going to be thinking 3 or 4 years' time when I have a video to make every single day about the current situation? No chance that is happening. I'm thinking about the short term, and the short term is Zach LaVine is probably going to be here. So we've got to be prepared for that. And honestly, I think it's the right decision to keep Zach LaVine around for next season. And let's see what he can end up doing. I'm hoping for a healthy season, hoping for an improved season. I'm hoping for the Bulls to be better than last season for us. And I think altogether that will boost his trade value to a point where, you know, we could get something ridiculously good for him, if that's what the plan is. Or he could be so good that the Bulls fans will never want to get rid of him. It can go in those ways. Of course, it could go in different ways. Zach LaVine can get injured again. Zach LaVine can have a bad season again. Then we're back to square one of Bulls fans don't believe he's a max contract player. But, you know, you got to allow him to take those steps and see where the future can take us. So I will end this video here. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. What do you think Zach LaVine's future will be for this Bulls team? That is the question I have to ask for you guys today. Let me know in the comments below. Without further ado, have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.